So Summer Cole 2968 left me this question on my YouTube channel, and I wanted to post it and kind of share my thoughts on it. So she's asking about staffing when running a mobile bar, that they're doing a camper trailer and they're getting ready to start. A couple of my big things. One, for those of you that follow my channels, I was a bartender in bars and restaurants. Anything from fine dining to dive bars to in between. So I know how to make tons and tons of drinks and deal with all sorts of people. I think that's a really big part of being a successful mobile bartender, because you're going to have special events where people want to go off the cuff, they want to go off menu, and they're going to want to have certain kinds of drinks, and they're going to expect you to know how to make them. So it's super helpful to kind of have a background in bartending. And if you're not going to be doing the bartending yourself, you're going to have other people do it. They kind of need to know how to make certain drinks. Two, how do you keep people who have Monday to Friday jobs? I've had really, really, really good experiences with having bartenders who are teachers. So teachers are people pleasers. They follow rules. They want to do really well. They're really good at following directions. They want to make things great for people. And teachers love some extra cash, right? They want to have cash on hand. So especially when you're doing events during the summer, having teachers be your bartenders is great, because they're usually off of school and it's extra cash in their pockets when they're out on those summer months. So that's super helpful and something to consider. Worrying about them not being reliable. So there's a couple things that I've learned that are super helpful when you are dealing with workplace motivation and having good people by you. You cannot expect people to do things for you that you're not going to do yourself. That one's hard. There's a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes if I'm not going to be that bartender there to set them up for success. I am prepping everything. I am creating detailed, I call them preference sheets, day of sheets, that gives them the detailed schedule, who they're going to come in contact with, who's in charge, here are their points of contact, what can they expect, what exact drinks are they going to be making, what things have I provided in there, I call them go boxes, that they can utilize, whether we're bringing in grenadine, bitters, simple syrup, lime juice, cutting boards, muddlers, all sorts of things, just random bartending tools and supplies on the side that could be used in a variety of different beverages should someone want something that's off cuff, because little things like that will really make your service stand out. The other thing too is paying them really well. Okay, so you need to figure in what prices work to really get good people to work for you that are going to make good money and they're going to be excited to do it. And it's really hard work to go there and bartend and take up every weekend and do that job. If they're making really good money, it's really hard to say no. So you need to think about what that rate is going to be for them. Then they'll get good tips, and you need to think about how you can figure that into your pricing, that you can be that manager and take on that managerial role and talking with clients and booking them and doing all of the things behind the scenes so that they can just show up and do a really good job and that everybody's compensated. So those are a few of the things that I think are big things. Compensation is huge. Finding the right people that you can trust. If you're not going to be the one bartending, I would really try and make sure that you're going with them to the first few events and assisting them, or making sure that you have certain plans in place. All of the people that have worked for me, I've trained. So they don't go to a site without me first. If it's somebody new that I'm considering bringing on, I'll work them into the schedule where they can come do an event with me. Like I will go out of my way to do an event so they can come with me, so they can see how I operate, what I expect, all of those things. Being there early, having a clean working station, proper safe handling, okay? Using gloves, washing hands, hair back, like all of those kinds of things, little things that you would get if you were in a service industry, but they might not have that. So you can't expect other people to know all of those things without making sure you're instilling those things for them and those expectations. Just really good communication, being super organized. It's a ton of work also being behind the scenes. I don't know how I managed for so long to be behind the scenes plus do all the bartending myself. I just had to. I had to work my way up. That was not a short, easy answer. I'm sorry, but I just feel like there's a lot of pieces to this. I get very nervous when I see people that are just going to hire people out the whole time. You have to kind of be there in the trenches with them at first. So if there's a way for you to do that, take some time to be there with them, make sure things are going well before you step back I think you'd have a much higher success rate, just so that you have a feel for what's going on at these events. Because again, in the mobile industry, every venue you're at is going to be different. They're going to provide different things. They're going to have different services. Do they have water there, like water hookups? Do they have a prep space? Do they not prep space? Do they have bars? Do you need bars? Like there's so many different things. I've actually moved away from like actual trailers and things. I have one mobile bar because a ton of my venues that are local to me have beautiful, extravagant bars indoors. They don't need me to pull up with a trailer because they have that. So I've looked into the market around me. I've seen like, hey, there's not as much of a need for the actual mobile bar here because they have good bars. We're going to focus on really good fancy drinks, decorating the bars that they already have, coming up with good packages for that indoor space and how to cater to that, because they don't want to pay the extra for a trailer rental when everything is inside. So those are just a few things to think about. I just wanted to share that with you quickly. I love the questions. Keep them coming. Again, everyone's experience is going to be different. So you might just have people work for you and it might work out just great. I'm a little bit of a more of a control person, that I have to kind of make sure everything's set up ahead of time. And then I'll step back a little bit, and that's hard for me, and that might not be the right way to go either. But in my experience, it's worked out really, really well this way. Also, it's hard to bring in family, but if you have good family that you can trust that want to make extra money, because 9 times out of 10 you're with them all the time anyway. So they're people you can trust. They're going to be honest with you. They're going to ask you the hard questions. They're going to want to try and do their best for you. So having really good family and close friends around you that want to be a part of the journey with you is really great too.